Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is a Montazar from the Chicago camp coming back at you again with part two of the olive tree deception. Non-Israelites won't be grafted in. All right, so you're back with me on part one. All right, we went over Revelations, the 11th chapter. All right, going into the Lord giving power unto his two witnesses. Those two witnesses are the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Okay, all right, and they were here in America, all right, as slaves oppressed together. All right. And they were like the dry bones. Okay. Now the scripture says these are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks. All right. So these are the elect of Israel on both the northern and the southern kingdom that are searching out Jerusalem. All right. With with preaching this word. Okay. As unto a candle. Right. Zephaniah 1 and 12 says, "And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil." Okay. All right. So the Lord gave um, the uh, the two witnesses the power to prophesy. Okay. All right. Um, and so we talked about the period between 1619 and 1969, a 350-year period. Well, okay, where you had the bulk of the uh, northern kingdom and the southern kingdom here, all right, in America, and then 1969, you had the True Star coming out. Okay, now, Christianity, of course, all right, has been a stronghold, and they got you all screwed up in your mind about who the Gentiles are, right? So we talked about Israelite foreigners and natural Gentiles. All right, we went over Ezekiel the 37th chapter, where the valley of dry bones, okay, which is America, all right, and we were in a dead state. All right. And the Lord breathed the breath into us. Okay. And it said these bones that got the meat on it and got the flesh on it says be the whole house of Israel. Right. Northern and southern kingdom. So we went through that whole passage. Now let's get into it. Paul labors. Paul's labors was for the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes. Acts 26 and 6. Okay. Paul says, "And now I stand and am judged for the hope of the promise made of the Most High unto our fathers, unto which promise our 12 tribes, instantly serving the Most High day and night, hope to come. For which hope's sake, King Agrippa, I am accused of the Jews." All right. So Paul's labors, his epistles, these epistles that went out, okay, were written to scattered Israelites or Israelite foreigners. Paul said he's an apostle to the Gentiles. He magnifies his office. All right. And we see him standing in front of King Agrippa saying that that's the promise, all right, that he labors and commits himself to. Romans 1 and 7. To all that be in Rome, beloved of the Most High, called to be saints, praise to you and pray and peace. Salakia, grace to you and peace from the Most High our Father and the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. All right, so we know who the saints are. That's Psalms 50 and 5. Okay, those that were in covenant with him, which were the Israelites. Romans 4 and 1, Paul says that Abraham is our father as pertaining to the flesh. Okay? It says, "What shall we say then that Abraham our father as pertaining to the flesh have found?" All right? That's what you have to understand, that this whole book of Romans, all right, and all Paul's epistles is dealing with Israelites. Romans 9 and 7, it says, "Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed." Abraham had other sons. His first son was by Hagar, which was Ishmael. All right, who you call the Arabs today. All right, and then he had Isaac. After Isaac, all right, after Sarah died, he had Keturah. He had six sons by Keturah. All right, so the scriptures is letting you know that these other children, right, are not the children of God. All right, through Isaac, right, shall thy seed be called. All right, and we know that that is what Isaac had Jacob. Okay, and the Lord put by Esau. Now it says Paul references how the northern kingdom became not a people, yet are still Israelites. So in Romans, the ninth chapter, starting at the 25th verse, he quotes Hosea. As he said also in Hosea, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living power. Isaiah also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Lord make upon the earth. And as Isaiah said before, except the Lord of Sabaoth have left us a seed, we had been as Sodom, and been made like unto Gomorrah. What shall we say then, that the Gentiles which follow not after righteousness have attained to righteousness, even the righteousness which is of faith? Okay. Romans 10 and 19. But I say, did not Israel know? First Moses saith, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people, and by a foolish nation I will anger you. All right, so now we're going to read the history. Okay, going into Hosea, which is what Paul quoted. So what's about to happen here is you're going to see how the apostasy of the northern kingdom, the Lord said, look, they're not a people no more. See, Christians, they'll read Romans, all right, and they'll see Gentiles and they'll say a people that was not a people. We those people that was not a people. No, you're not the people that were not a people. Hosea is about to explain the people that are not a people. Verse 1. The word of Yahweh that came unto Hosea the son of Beeri in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, the king of Israel. The beginning of the word of Yahweh by Hosea, and Yahweh said unto Hosea, and go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms, and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from Yahweh. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And Yahweh said unto him, Call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. You see that? I will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And the Most High said unto him, Call her name Leruhamah, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by Yahweh their power, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horse, nor by horsemen. Now when she had weaned Leruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Then said the Most High, Call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. You see that? It took reading all of this, right, to get to that point, because you can't just read passages haphazardly in the scriptures, right, and then say we're gonna be grafted in. We the people that's not a people. No, this is where the not a people comes from. All right, I'll read that part again. Call his name Loami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it will or shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. All right. So for all of that, it still says in verse 10, yet. Okay. So we know the northern kingdom was not going to be a people. But verse 10 says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered, nor measured, nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in a place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. All right. And then when you fast forward to Hosea, the 4th chapter, and the 17th verse, here it is. Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone. All right. That's how you had the apostasy of the northern kingdom and how they became not a people. All right. Now, the context, all right, has always been Israel. Israel is called an olive tree. All right. Read it again. This is Jeremiah, the 11th chapter. Let's see where Israel is being called the olive tree. For according to the number of thy cities, okay, this is Jeremiah 11 and 13. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars, so that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. All right, so the Lord says, hey, all your cities, all right, was dealing with idolatry. He said, according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars, so that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or pray for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. What hath my beloved to do in my house, seeing she hath wrought lewdness with many, and the holy flesh is passed from thee? When thou doest evil, then thou rejoicest. And Yahweh called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of good fruit. With the noise of a great tumult, he hath kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken. You see that? So here in the book of Jeremiah, the 11th chapter, Israel is being called a green olive tree. Okay? Israel was the green olive tree, but because of all her idolatry, a fire was kindled upon it, and the branches of it are broken. For Yahweh of hosts hath planted thee. Okay? It says, pronounce evil against thee, for the evil of the house of Israel and the house of Judah, which they have done against themselves to provoke me to anger in offering incense unto Baal. So that's who the olive tree is. Okay? It's Israel. Paul was the apostle to the Israelite foreigners. Okay? Romans 11 and 13. For I speak to you Gentiles, okay? The Israelite foreigners. Inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, which is the cosmos, what shall the receiving of them be? But life after death. Okay? So there you have it. Paul is the apostle to the Israelite foreigners. He says, For I speak to you Gentiles, Israelite foreigners, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office. Paul is the apostle to the Israelite foreigners. That's why he wrote epistles to the Romans and the Corinthians and the Galatians and the Ephesians and the Philippians and the Colossians, all right, and the Thessalonians. Okay, that's why he wrote those epistles. This is John 14 and 15. For if you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. All right. So here you have the Spirit of truth, okay, which the world cannot receive. All right. The world can't receive this truth. They don't know. They don't know Yahweh Shai. All right. So how they gonna be grafted in? Okay. How they gonna understand what's going on? Let's go to Romans 11 and 17 in closing. Because, hey, the point is made. You see, all you gotta do is just read a little bit of the history. There it is. Read the history. There it is. All right. This is Romans 11 and 17. And if some of the branches be broken off, thou being a wild olive tree were grafted in among them, and with them partakest of the root and the fatness of the olive tree. Slack, let me read that over. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou being a wild olive tree wert graft in among them, and with them partakest of the root and fatness of the olive tree, boast not against the branches. But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high minded, but fear. For if the Most High spare not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee. Behold, therefore, the goodness and the severity of the Most High on them which fell. Severity, but toward thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness. Otherwise, thou also shalt be cut off. All right. So you had the circumcision, all right, who because of their unbelief, okay, they basically was falling off. Okay, and now you have the Israelite foreigners coming in, all right, and Paul is trying to tell them, be careful now, for the Most High spare not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee. Behold, therefore, the goodness and the severity of the Most High on them which fell, severity, but toward thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness, otherwise thou also shalt be cut off. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in. Okay? Shall be grafted in. For the Most High is able to graft them in again. Okay? So that means that they were already there, all right, and so now they can be grafted in again. Okay, you can't be grafted in again into something you were never part of. This is only talking about Israel. For if thou wert cut out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and were grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree, how much more shall these which be the natural branches be grafted into their own olive tree? For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery. Now, he says, brethren, the brethren are Israelites. All right? That's in Romans, the 9th chapter. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceit, that blindness in part has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant unto them when I shall take away their sins. All right. So all of this is about Israelites. Okay. This whole grafted in, um, this is all about Israelites. The Israelites are the olive tree. Okay. All right. And you had the northern kingdom that was broken off long time ago. Okay. The wild olive tree. Then you had the circumcision, okay, who because of unbelief, okay, they were broken off. All right. But the Lord says that He says that if they continue not in unbelief, right? Verse 23, and they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in, for the Most High is able to graft them in again. Okay. So this is all dealing with the nation of Israel. So in the book of Romans, all the epistles, but specifically in the book of Romans, from the first chapter all the way through, all right, the Lord had to conclude all of Israel in unbelief, okay, to have grace upon everyone, okay, meaning the Israelites. All right, so I pray that this lesson has been edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.